Habs lose, and they're now eliminated from playoff contention. And I have a consolation cat. And as you can see, I still have my playoff beard, so I need to go and be right back, honestly. Because I have a video to make, and the Habs are no longer in the playoffs. Be right back.
2 hours later.
And we're back. And yes, it is still me. I know somehow my face looks fairly different without a beard. But yeah, it's still me. Yeah. So Habs lose 4-1 against the Washington Capitals in Game 5 of the first round in the playoffs. And with that, we're now eliminated, and the Caps advance to play the Carolina Hurricanes in round 2. And I am frustrated. Don't think I'm not. I am very frustrated for a lot of things that happened during the game, during the series. But overall, I am very positive because we saw the potential. We saw a lot of potential from a lot of our young players. We saw a lot of struggles from a lot of our older players, and we saw a lot of heart from a lot of our veteran players that are still going to be with the team. So overall, very positive. But let me get my frustrations out first, and then we'll get to the positive. We started so well. That first period, we came out buzzing. We were out shooting them. I think at one point it was like 8-1 in shots. And then we have a power play, and the power play looks beautiful. We're just passing and like seeing passes on the tape and just like boom, 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 keeping them moving. And then the mid up to Suzuki. Suzuki grabs it, and he cannot shoot it because he was a little far. I know a lot of people are going to be very upset that he cannot put that in, and I know he's very, very upset with himself that he cannot grab it and put it in. Of course, we're upset about that, but did you look at that power play? It was beautiful. We were moving the puck like nothing. It was very, very nice. Like the mid of Suzuki and Hudson in that power play with Slafkovsky in front of the net and Caulfield being the sniper. Like, holy, yeah. I just give them a little bit more practice. It's gonna come. Anyway, and then they clear the puck, and one of their guys falls, or maybe gets a little pushed. I don't think it was tripping, and the refs didn't think it was tripping. The arena thought it was tripping. They're all yelling, so you know, because all the arena is yelling, that they're gonna call, and because they have just had a penalty, a power play of their own, that they're gonna call anything, and they called Slav for slashing. Did it look like a slash? I mean, their stick did break. Did it look like much? Not at all. I think the guy just like jammed it against the boards, and Slav just like click, like touched it, and this stick broke. You don't that one doesn't get called all the time, and it was frustrating to see that one being called because, well, hindsight 2020, but because it would alter the course of the game. And well, the Caps, then the Dvorak's stick breaks in the face-off, and it's a clean face-off win, and yeah, Ovechkin just puts it in. And chasing the game since that point. Not good at all. And because the guys wanted to, like I said last video, they needed a spark immediately, right? It was nice that Carrier was with the team. He was obviously not at 100%. We saw the pictures after the game where he was like a lot of ice on the ankle. Apparently he played with that during last game, even before the concussion. So I think that was from the Ovechkin hit against the boards. He clearly still clips his ankle onto the boards, and like, yeah, like the Russian machine just slamming your ankle against the boards. I'm sure that one hurts. But he played through that, right? So it's nice that we saw Carrier. Otherwise would have been out of righties pretty much. It was just Savard on the like natural righty. So that could have been even worse. But Carrier played an honestly decent game. Obviously, he wasn't amazing out there. He wasn't the best he's been, but he still played a decent game. Anyways, yeah, our penalty kill that doesn't even get to kill the penalty. This is just kind of stick breaks and that's it, and it's in the net. Because we don't get that spark, even though we tried really hard, because like the first 5, I forget what the timer was, but until that power play and with that shot of Suzuki, maybe it could have been a different game. Suzuki puts that in, we get the spark, we don't get the penalty, the power play, we don't get a penalty, so Caps don't get a power play, they don't score, you know. In a different timeline, Suzuki scores that, and we're talking about the game that we're gonna have on Friday. I really think that. I really think if he had scored that, we probably win that game. Yeah, I know. Call me a homer, whatever. I really think with that spark at the beginning of the game, it could have been a very, very different game. And it's a game of inches or centimeters. Pick your poison. He was just a little too far ahead. The pass was a little behind him. He could not get it clean. The Vorak sticks breaks. It's straight on the tape of Avu. Davish does not have a chance. Davish had a great game. Davish had an excellent game. I know you can blame him a little bit for the second goal, or I forget what the third goal even was. Oh, it was on the power play, right? The third goal, he made like 3 saves before, and like we couldn't retrieve the puck. Anyways, he had amazing saves. He kept us in the game. It could have been a horrible game otherwise. At some point, I thought we were gonna get shut out like 5-0. So I celebrated the first goal, our first goal, and only goal. Beautiful tip in by Heinemann, right? By the way, who hadn't scored since like January. So, yeah, good scoring there, and I thought the game was gonna get out of hand. Once they scored the second goal, they kept on busting. They didn't back down. This Caps team, gotta give them credit. They're heavy. They're big. They play. They don't let you breathe. As soon as they get in your zone, they don't need too much time to set up, to release to get a dangerous opportunity and release a good shot. Credit where credit is due. It's the best team in the East against the worst team in the East. And I know anything can happen in the playoffs. So obviously we didn't just expect the Habs to lose because of how they got into the playoffs, right? But also consider that it's a very veteran team against the youngest team in NHL history to make the playoffs, right? So, and it showed. It showed that we need more reps. Honestly, we need now everybody knows a little bit of the playoffs, right? Reinbacher is playing in the Laval playoffs. I know it's very different, but he couldn't be here, and I'm sure he will be here next season because if he stays healthy, he's gonna be a solid part of the core. With we have. I know I've said this so many times, so we have such an embarrassment of riches when it comes to young players. All right, I'm sure we're gonna come back next season. I'm sure it's not gonna be. Well, of course we're gonna come back next season. I mean, we're gonna come back next season stronger. I'm sure it's not gonna be an easy regular season. I'm sure we're gonna struggle here and there because young players, right? Consistency is the hardest part. Consistency is what you achieve once you have a lot more repetitions, once you have a lot more experience, right? So we're probably gonna have a very similar season to what we had this season, with ups and downs, with like streaks and then losing streaks, right? But I'm pretty sure that if all the players keep developing and don't hit a massive slump, we're gonna get to the playoffs again. And if we get to the playoffs, I'm 100% sure that we're gonna have a better showing, because the guys don't want to see a repeat of this, and the pressure is gonna be a little higher if they make the playoffs again, right? Because it's now it's not your first rodeo, and it's your second one, and we expect even more, right? And there were a lot of fans that were expecting a lot of this team. And like I said, anything can happen in the playoffs. And the Habs especially have shown multiple times that anything can and will happen in the playoffs, right? So, of course, a lot of us have a part inside that is like, hey, they can do it. And watching game 1, game 2, and especially game 3, we were like, yeah, they can do it, right? Like, it's been close. The Caps are not that good. They're not invincible. We have gotten good shifts here and there where we've been the dominant team by far. So it was doable. I do really think it was doable, but it is a game of inches, and they got a few lucky bounces here and there. Their players did not relent, and our players made a couple mistakes, rookie mistakes, if you were to call them, here and there, that cost us. And the Capitals capitalized fairly fast on those mistakes. And yeah, that's how it goes in the end, right? But I'm sure everyone is upset, but I'm sure everyone is also proud to where they got. Let's not forget. Let's now go more into the positive. I know I've been mixing it up, right? But more into the positive now. Let's not forget that coming back from the Four Nations tournament, the Habs were fairly far out of the playoffs still. They had like something like a 3.5% chance of making the playoffs by then. I know we got a lot of outside help. I know a lot of the other teams that were competing just completely fell off, and they kind of allowed the Habs to make it, right? But the guys fought hard. Since February, they've been fighting hard. They've been fighting through injuries. Apparently, Anderson has been injured since December. Shocker, we all knew that. Like, they've been fighting so hard for so long now. You cannot blame them for being tired, for being not at their 100% now at the playoffs, right? And they said early on, at that point, coming back from the Four Nations, that their playoffs began right then and there. Because their playoffs was to make the playoffs. And I said so too. Their Stanley Cup, big quotes, was to make the playoffs. They won their Stanley Cup. They made the playoffs, right? Everything else was gravy. And yeah, like, of course they tried to make the best out of it, but it was not a team made for the playoffs. Heck, we were even thinking about selling at the trade deadline, not even acquiring. The not doing anything was what Suzuki achieved by showing that this team wanted it, right? That this team wanted to make an impact. Like, Ken Hughes was ready to start selling players because we were not going to make the playoffs. We were going to be another lottery team. We didn't sell Dvorak, we didn't sell Armia or Savard, so we kept all those players, and the team showed in return that they wanted to make the playoffs, and they did. They did make the playoffs. Like, yeah. So, all that to say, wear your Habs gear with pride. Don't feel down because they are out now. Be happy because they made it, right? Be happy because of the extra games we got to play. We got to see another 2 weeks of Habs, and now we need to wait until freaking October. There's still some playoffs to watch. I'll be watching. The Battle of Florida is bloody as ever. The Battle of Ontario is the same also. I'm enjoying the Leafs downfall or the Senators. I don't know. Whatever. I don't like either team, so I'm okay with either result, but it would be really fun if the Leafs just choke. Anyways, I'm going to continue enjoying hockey until the playoffs are over. I'm going to continue enjoying the memories from the Habs making these playoffs and making a good showing for themselves, you know, because they didn't just get handled by the Caps. We gave them, even though it was 5 games, we gave them a good run. Like, we made them fight for it. They had to show their 100% to get through us. And yeah, it's obviously sad. I obviously wanted to see more Habs hockey. But I do want to see a lot of Habs hockey next season, you know, with a full season of the Midov, a full season of maybe Reinbacher. Hopefully we make a splash in the off season, get another second line center. Evans played a pretty good game as second line, honestly. We saw I know I'm going a lot of back and forth, but I have a lot of thoughts. Even though I don't think this video is going to be too long, because I don't want to analyze the game too long. But I do want to mention quickly that Evans played the first line center, or Caulfield and Slavkovsky got in the second line. Anyways, Evans was playing with Caulfield and Slavkovsky, and Suzuki was playing with the Midov and Newhook. There, I think you have the Suzuki, Caulfield, Slavkovsky line here, and the Evans, Newhook, the Midov line here, and they didn't have any synergy coming in. So I think what Marty did was something like this. He balanced those out too by switching Suzuki and Evans, right? I didn't mind it too much, honestly, especially away, because you wanna throw the lines in the blender a little bit more when you're away, right? Because the other team doesn't know if you're gonna double shift Suzuki, for example, or what's gonna happen, right? So throwing the lines in the blender, I kind of liked it. The Midov was a lot more visible because of playing with Suzuki. Obviously, it's not something we've tried before, right? It's not something they have experience with. So I do think like all of those little things are gonna get worked on during the next season. And like Marty, I talked about this a couple of videos ago, but Marty has been very clear in that every year he focuses on something new for the team. So the first year was just play, show me what you got, get your love for hockey back, because a lot of players had kind of lost it. The second year was like, okay, let's play as a team now. The third year was like, okay, which was this year, let's do structures, so offensive structures, offensive plays, defensive structure. And we struggled hard the first 2 months for trying to achieve defensive structure, right? But then we kind of did it, and we were one of the best defensive teams in December through January. So let's not forget that either. I don't know what's next in store for Marty. Like what's gonna be the next thing that the team works on. But I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to keep seeing this team develop, keep seeing Marty develop. I'm hoping Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon make a splash during the off season. I think it is a good time now to get a couple of good pieces that will put this team into the next level, or that at least will help teach or give some experience to some of these players. I know people mention a lot of like Crosby would be great. And I do think Crosby would be great. Not so much so because of his play and himself making us getting into the playoffs, or helping us have a run in the playoffs. I don't think he would be great so much because of that, even though obviously that would help. I think he would be great because he would teach a lot of the good things to our young prospects, right? And we need players like that. Obviously, I don't think Crosby will happen. Crosby has said multiple times that he's a Penguin and he will retire a Penguin. So I don't think that's possible, right? But something like that could be great, right? I trust the front office, honestly. There's only been a couple moves, which only with hindsight, I'm like, maybe that wasn't the best move, right? But that's how it is. And a lot of the decisions they've made, they back them up, and it's been good decisions, good moves in general. So I'll trust the front office. We'll see what happens. Anyways, anything else I wanted to mention from the game? Matheson had one choke here and there. It didn't end up in a goal only because Davish likes the guy and saved his ass. But yeah, other than that, he was pretty good. And you saw the last 5 minutes of play when the Habs, the young guns, were all out there and they wanted it. You could see, like, you got a glimpse into the future of what this team is gonna be, and it's so good. It's gonna be so good. I can't wait. That's it. I think that's the last video for this season. I might make a video for the draft lottery, like after, like, to see which position we get, and maybe for the draft itself. Yeah, I don't know. No promises. But I will be back next season, that's for sure. So I appreciate all of you guys that have come here and commented on some of my videos. I appreciate the likes you guys leave. It's fun interacting with a lot of you guys. I've learned something new things. I have a movie I need to watch, or a show. I don't even know. But I've been learning. I've been growing also. So yeah, I really like making these videos. I'm sure I'll continue enjoying that, and I'll continue making them next season as well. Yeah, I'm so excited to see what the Habs bring next season. One last one until October. Go Habs, go!